everybody, and welcome to Watch It or Don't. I'm Tom, and this is Matt. Today we decided to have Kat on instead of Dan because we don't like him.
So, reason.
Right. Today we're talking about the Fantastic Four, the new movie directed by Josh Trank, who directed Chronicle, which not a huge movie, but pretty great.
It did well. I didn't see it. It's on my list.
Pretty great. Stars Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, Kate Mara, and Jamie Bell as your main Fantastic Four. And it's supposed to be kind of this new take. I know most people see the old Fantastic Four.
They're definitely
movies.
younger, and then the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, the other Fantastic Four movies didn't do so well. This was supposed to be their kind of revival. Supposed to be.
It's also their placeholder so that Disney doesn't get the rights to.
Right. Yeah. So, and I'll start and say you should have sold the rights. Should have given them back to Disney.
Yeah, I don't know if Tom really liked the movie all that much, but.
Before I get into it, you guys.
How about we try to ease your burden a little bit?
Yeah.
I personally, I've had to say some positives of the movie that I really enjoyed was that we got to see a young Ben Grimm with Reed Richards, and that's something that you don't usually hear about. It's usually from the comics. They're adults and they're working on a spaceship, and it was different. And I kind of liked some of the storylines. There were some that there's a lot of ham-handed parts in this movie, but. Reed Richards and Ben Grimm's relationship, for the most part, I thought was really interesting. They had good ideas, just maybe they weren't executed well.
I went into this movie with zero expectation.
Okay.
In the same way that you would go into Hot Tub Time Machine with zero expectation.
You gave it that level?
Right, I gave it this level of, I'm not going to go in with any expectation. I didn't really like the first Fantastic Four movies, so I'm not really sure how I feel about this. They're only doing it so that they can keep the rights to it. I don't know how I'm going to feel. And so I went in with that attitude, and for the first half of the movie, I was like, this is okay. It's all right. And there was, a definitive moment halfway through where I was like, this is not getting any better, and it's never going to get any better, and I'm going to accept that right now and just try to, make it through.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the halfway point, because this movie has an hour and 40-minute runtime. It is so short.
It's one of the shortest
and
movies
I always check my watch during movies. They get their powers from a different dimension in this movie. They don't go to that dimension until about an hour into the movie.
I don't care about that. I know that some stuff like that bothers you.
Well, if they were setting up something, if they took that long to set up something good, that'd be different.
Not something we expected.
But that means they completely just faked an ending. There's no...
It was like they got to that point in the movie, and they were like, we had this great idea of this movie, a background story that was all right, and then all of a sudden they got to this halfway point, this hour mark, and they were like, let's just do the rest of the movie. We gotta finish it right now.
It's not unlike what the first Captain America did, where it just had to shoehorn the ending in. But this makes Captain America look like Citizen Kane.
Oh, come on.
Man.
You know I like Captain America.
No, I know, but this is really bad.
Do you want to go into ratings? I feel like I want to. Or do you want us to go and do our ratings first?
You guys, okay, go ahead, because I think they know.
I'll let our special guest give your rating first.
So I'm gonna give it a letter grade of about a C-, and that is me being I'm gonna just try.
Shameless.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to like it a little bit more than I really did, and the more that I think about it, the more I'm not liking it. But I'm going to give it a C- because I'm feeling nice. Okay.
they gave you extra credit?
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm going to give it 2 out of 5 stars. I went in with low expectations as well. And there are parts that I give it credit to. Like I said, I really like the new background story some of the characters have. But some of the lines are terrible in the movie, just in terms of dialogue. Where it's this is bad. Product placement, I can look the other way in superhero movies, so I won't even touch that. It was weird to see product placement for Crush. Spoiler alert, you don't see that too often. But what was another one? There was one specific one that I really didn't like. I'm trying to think. I don't want to ruin it. Whatever. If it comes back, I'll write it in the comments. But there was something that bugged me. Other than that, 2 out of 5. It's a Fantastic Four movie. I know that's not a good excuse, but I'll give it 2 out of
5. So this is going to be my monumental first bad rating I'm giving in one of these videos. It is bad. It is I don't often think that people should be ashamed of their work, but this really should not have seen the light of day. I mean, it shouldn't have. There are so many steps in the process of filmmaking where they should have said, no, let's change this. Let's redo this. And the one saving grace that the movie has is I like all 4 of the main cast, But even like they only have a couple parts where they're really likable or they do a convincing job. The rest of the time, they're just like, ugh. Also, this movie, I would imagine it had a fairly big budget. I didn't look it up. But their CGI is just the nastiest.
I think that was what I was talking about. Can we spoil the one part where it's like some of the worst CGI I've seen in a long time?
Well, just vaguely.
Well, there's an animal that gets CGI and it is terrible. They might as well.
I mean, in Hollywood, you can get a real chimp.
You can,
and you don't
for cheap.
You don't have to. You know, the chimp in the movie did not go through anything that would have been endangering it.
Yeah.
It totally would have been fine, even for just a couple of the shots.
It just looked ridiculous.
Oh man, it was.
I think that's what I forgot that I was going to mention.
It was comparable to creepy vampire daughter in the Twilight Saga.
and it would have been fine if we just saw it the once, but there were definitely 3 shots of it.
More than that.
We get it. Well, 3 for me that definitely
There's
stuck out.
chimps that are crying out there.
So, but we were lucky we got to see a pre-screening, so we didn't have to pay for it. So maybe that also affects my judgment. I was like, that was good. If I had spent $13, maybe I'd be a little more upset.
There's a lesson for you. Movies are better when they're free.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, we better head
sign
out
off
here. We're Watch It or Don't. We're on Facebook and Twitter, and make sure you subscribe for more videos. Thanks.